Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Beacon of Light podcast. This is our Pinpoints of Light Healing Conference. And tonight, it's so exciting. We are with Miss Lorrie Jean Jones. She is in the house. Okay, this woman is one of my favorite people. And we met through just doing stuff like this. And she reached out and we were like, what? And she was like, what? And I was like, what? And it just connected. I know, y'all. This is just crazy stuff that happened. And I love these hearts. People are coming in here, loving on us. This is awesome. Now, I have a little bit of business to go through first, right? Because we've had sponsors for this conference. Hello, John. How are you? Hi, John.
Hi, John.
John is from Kansas.
Yes, it's in the house.
Texas in the house, and Callie is in the house. All right, California. Hello, Mary. Hi, everyone. Hello. We're so glad everyone's here. Now, to cover the business, we have 3 amazing sponsors. First one is House of Redeeming Love. The next is End Can. And finally, our last one is Susie Q's Kids, giving kids comfort one bag at a time. And we want to do a big shout out for all of them. Congratulations, everyone. Thank you so much for all your sponsorship. And I've got our books here and I'm twisting everything around, aren't I? Well, okay. So for tonight, our author sponsors are pulling out the books here in order. This lovely, amazing lady who we see in the front here, Miss Lorrie Jean Jones. Check it out.
Check it out.
It's called The Pawn. The curse becomes the blessing. And the winner of this tonight is going to be, I've got to get all my lists up here. Everybody. Oh my gosh. Okay. So the winner of Lorrie's book tonight is Frank Candrella.
Congratulations,
Frank. Awesome. Thank you so much, Frank, for being a part of this sponsorship as well as now a winner. Our second book is actually mine, Pinpoints of Light, Escaping the Abyss of Abuse. And I am giving these to Miss Lorrie Thomas. Okay, I'm going to try again. Lorrie Thompson.
Yay, Lorrie.
Woo! Because she sent me a message about a possibility of a connection of another shelter. So I was like, whew, oh yeah, I was so excited. And so these are going to you, Miss Lorrie. Oh, my signing is awful tonight. My brain is just crazy. So I apologize for any of my deaf audience. I'm so sorry. Okay, next is the complete set that we have here with the lovely Miss Mary. Da, da, da.
Mary.
All of the books. Mary. Yes. And this goes to Catherine McKinney. So congratulations, Catherine. Awesome. And finally, our last book of the night is Broken to Beautifully Whole. But this is going to be an audience member pick. Okay, so though the one person that is being very active throughout the entire conversation is going to be the winner of Miss Kathy Studer's book. All right.
Excellent book. Yes.
So we've got it down. Congratulations, Frank. Congratulations, everybody. We are so excited and thank you for being a part of this amazing conference. We have been doing tons of things lately. Wow, we've got lots of people popping up here. We're great.
Yay! Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, John, he's so sweet. You're both amazing. I love it. Thanks, John. Okay. See, sometimes you just have to bring in the energy and the light. No matter what. I mean, there's serious topics that we've been talking about, and this is day 6 throughout the entire month of April because we want people to be aware through the whole month. I think we're pretty good with maybe 1 or 2 days. It's like, no, this is the whole month that we need to be aware of childhood abuse. We also need to be aware of sexual abuse that happens, as well as domestic violence, because a lot of that is the connecting piece, unfortunately, for a lot of these things that happen. But it doesn't have to stay that way. You always have a choice, right, Lorrie?
Absolutely.
Right? We have choices, right?
Absolutely.
If we're
one decision away.
That's right. And so Lorrie's going to be talking to us tonight about purging the poison. And I've got to get this up here. Kathy, you're so great. I got to get this up here. I forgot to add my banner.
We love Kathy too.
So please forgive me for adding this a little bit late. Now, I kind of tease my guests, and I say this is the hardest part of my night because I want to make sure the ticker is spelled correctly because I'm a public speaker, not a public speller. So bear with me, anyone out there, because I've got to all of a sudden whip this up really loud and proud. So, Lorrie, tell me a little bit about how you have been sharing your book in the prison system. If you could do that while I'm putting this together, that would be super helpful for me.
Yeah, so I decided, I have been, we've been donating our books in shelters and in the drug treatment programs, in the domestic violence shelters, in the homeless camps. So I decided, because of my job, I decided to target the prison population. So around Christmas time, I chose 4 authors. I purchased their books. I found out if they have a library, and I shipped them off to Chowchillas Prison in California, and they're now in the library. So,
oh my gosh.
Yeah. So, and that's what I want to continue to do. And actually, everybody can actually do this. I mean, whatever state, because I know we have people all over America in different states to find out, a local prison, to find out if they have a library, pick some authors, purchase their books, and ship them off. I mean, the prison population, they have a lot of time to sit and reflect and read and write. And it's just a great opportunity for us to target, that hurting population. I mean, honestly, hurt people, right? So,
right.
And they, they deserve some healing as well. So that's been another passion of mine.
Awesome. That whole idea of, allowing somebody to give some hope, some real hope from an outside source coming in to let them know you're not alone and things can really happen. And that is huge, right? If we're not giving hope to other people, then what's the point?
Right? Absolutely.
What is the point? Okay, I want to make sure I've got this all spelled out, right? Oh my goodness. You guys, I get nervous. Then it's like, at school, like the spelling bee, and you're like, okay, hopefully this works.
You're fine.
Tell me if I did that right.
Yeah, it's fine. It's great. It's great.
Oh, you guys are so cute. And thanks so much for, being patient with the scattered mother of 400 tonight. Okay, anyway, let's get this ball rolling. Let's get this things up and going and make sure we've got every. Internet's being goofy.
It is.
Okay. Are we
happens.
Back stronger? Hopefully we're all back. Okay, we didn't miss anything, I hope. Okay. Now, to get things rolling, Miss Lorrie. I'm sorry, my signing is terrible. Okay, I got to think and put myself together. Y'all are so patient with me. You can see this is just real life happening, right? It's just real life, and that's okay. All right, so I want to start with a picture that Lorrie gave me, okay? And I'm going to throw this up here on the screen so you all can see it.
Oh, wait, April, wait.
Oh, yes.
April, I just want to say a few things. I have a confession to make. I do not sign, okay? The last podcast that we were on, my sister was cracking up and said, Lorrie, it looks like you were signing right along with April, and I started cracking up. So I want everyone to know, if my hands start flying, that is because I'm animated and I'm passionate, okay? So you might see both of our hands going, and I'm not in competition with April because I do not know how to sign, okay? Also, I want, thinking about this whole conference, I wanted to focus tonight to be all about the tips and takeaways and to be in the zone of the healing aspect. Okay. So I don't want to spend a lot of time focusing on my childhood trauma. I would rather connect on a level that we all can relate to. So like all of us, I had a deep desire to feel loved, wanted, and protected. And in a nutshell, without going into all the horrific detail, the people that were supposed to love me in my life and protect me, they didn't. So unfortunately, this is the reality for some of us. The bottom line, going through my own healing journey, is I realized that they couldn't give me what they don't have. And that was really key for me to understand and have compassion. Like, people can only give away what they have, right? So I see that now by going through my own healing journey, and that's what I want to give back to the audience. So yes,
Wow.
pull up that picture.
You bet. I'm going to pull that up right now. Nicole is right here with us. It's amazing what you're doing. Purge the Poison, all of these great things. Yes. Okay, let's pull this up and get it going loud and proud. Here we are. Oh, see, I got one. There we go. Okay. Tell us about this.
Okay, this is, I even had this on my Facebook because I think it is so important. The wound is not your fault, but the healing is our responsibility. And, I entitled this Purge the Poison because unforgiveness is similar to having affection underneath the skin. And on the outside, it looks like it's okay. But on the inside, there's that poison that is actually affecting and attacking our whole bodies. And if we're not, if we don't address it, then it's going to affect our lives in many different areas down the road, like problems. So this picture is indicating the 5 fingers of the A's that are going to help guide us through the forgiveness process. Excellent. So the first A that I want to talk about is acknowledge. So the first step is, we can't acknowledge, that acknowledges actually coming to grips that the wound exists and there's adverse effects in many different areas of our life, whether it be emotional, physical, mental, or even relational, So I like to even say this, that we cannot change what we don't acknowledge. So, I think many of us have, and we know deep down in our hearts, like, that we need to forgive. But the problem is we just don't know how, or we don't even know that it's possible, And so, it's just key for us to really come to terms with something bad that's happened and to face the truth that, this is something that needs to be addressed, right? Yeah, love is a metaphor. It is unseen, however, it's there. Absolutely, Kathy. That is so right. But I wanted to address some of the misconceptions about trauma. I've heard from many people, like 3 come to mind. If you don't think about it, it's going to go away. So that's one. The second one is don't dwell on the past because it's not going to fix anything. And the big one is simply get over it and move on. Now, to me, that mindset is the furthest from the truth, because the truth is this stuff never completely goes away, Now, the good news is we can heal from it. But when a trigger arises, like it most definitely will. Oh, something happened with my computer here. When a trigger comes up, and it most definitely will, we'll be able to handle it without getting all bent out of shape or, trying to hurt ourselves in some way,
Right.
Yeah. And another truth is we're not talking about staying stuck in the problem. We're confronting it without denying its existence. So, and the final truth is this: we don't simply get over it, we move through it, because the only way out is through. We don't jump over a door, we walk through the door. You know what I mean? So in my view, if an offense is not addressed, it's going to most definitely present itself in other negative ways, like it did in my own life. Substance abuse, the mental health problems, the eating disorders, the destructive behaviors, the sabotage, the criminality, choosing unhealthy relationship, and it just goes on and on and on, right? So that's the first step. The second step is assessment. So it's assessing for self-discovery. And I like to look at it like similar to taking a road trip. Your destination is going to be impossible unless you know where you're currently at. So I came up with 5 questions to help us assess like how deep the wound is and to gauge what level that we're harboring the unforgiveness. So April, you want to put up those questions for me?
You bet. Hey, it worked.
Yes. April, you're going to ask the questions and I'll chime in with some examples.
All right, here we go. These are the 5 steps to purge the poison.
Number
Number 1.
You see it?
Oh, do you not see it yet? Okay, wait. Make sure I'm up there. Oh, dear. I want to make sure we got it. How about now?
Woo! You're the bomb.
We got it. Okay. So the first question is, does thinking about a hurtful situation trigger an intense emotional reaction?
Okay, and so I'll chime in with the examples. Of course, this would be like the negative emotions like rage and anger. If you're feeling revengeful, embarrassment, the shame, and the depression. So those kind of feelings, if you're feeling those on a regular basis, this might be one of the problems here. Okay, number 2, April.
Number 2, does the stress of remembering a hurtful event trigger any physical reactions or discomfort?
Yeah, so this would be like headaches, the chronic headaches, high blood pressure, tense muscles, constantly being in fight or flight. I lived that way my entire life. Panic attacks, the upset stomachs, those physical symptoms. So this also can be related to harboring unforgiveness, believe it or not. So number 3.
Number 3, do you suffer from the woulda, coulda, shoulda syndrome? Or in other words, do you blame yourself for any of the past hurts? And if so, in what ways?
Yeah, so I was thinking about this one. So sometimes we'll choose, our choice of relationships can be very unhealthy. And so we're actually developing that self-fulfilling prophecy, self-sabotage, feeling that we don't deserve anything good in our lives, very destructive behaviors, and, other kinds of dysfunction. So those types of things. Okay, number 4.
So number 4, do you blame God for allowing the painful event?
Yes. So this one was really huge for me. I grew up thinking, why would a loving God ever allow such heinous acts, in the first place? And also growing up and feeling like if there is a God, then he must really hate me or I'm being punished. Those are the kinds of things that we can have a resentment towards God if we're holding that kind of mindset. Number 5.
Can you empathize with those who have harmed you or offer good towards those?
Yeah, this is very, very difficult. You have to go through the long road of healing to probably get to this piece. And it's trying to understand the abuser's mindset, like trying to look at their earlier childhood experiences. Maybe they had mental health issues. There's other barriers like substance abuse, alcohol dependency. I mean, I'm not giving an excuse for these kind of behaviors. I'm only putting this out there to gain understanding only, not to say that it was okay for whatever harm that has been done. But for me, I was able to gain a lot of understanding.
Right. And that number 5 really supports that tagline of hurt people hurt people.
Absolutely. Yes.
And so it is good to get the perspective on it. Yeah. All right, my dear, what's up? What's next?
Okay. So that's assessing for self-discovery. Number 3 is the middle finger, and I don't mean flipping people off like I used to, Yeah, the middle finger is actually stands for asking for help, y'all. Okay. So I think this step is probably the most difficult for some. And there's so many reasons why. What's Kathy saying? Oh, my friend saying for me, yes, I believe God yes, didn't exist either, thought I was bad too. It's just the way Felicia says. You know what, Kathy? I mean, I think so many of us can really relate to that, because why wouldn't we think that as small children, you know? And it's just hard to even fathom, you know, what else could we come up with that would be our truth as children. But as an adults, we can begin to have a mind shift on that. Okay, so the reasons why a lot of people don't ask for help is, number one, they don't want to be a burden to others. You know, I don't want to share all my stuff with others and be a burden. Another one is the fear of appearing weak, like you cannot handle your own problems. There's the shame factor, the fear of gossip, like it's going to be turned against you, retaliation, and some people just really doubt its effectiveness in the first place. So, but this is like so important that we seek out a guide to help us through these negative emotions. And also you'll feel like you're not alone. And, you know, you can seek out someone you trust, a counselor, a spiritual guide, a life coach. There's therapists, or even a trusted friend, you know, that you can trust. And the reality is it goes both ways, you know. The truth is, if you ask for help and you allow someone to give you the help, you know, it also gives them a sense of purpose and fulfillment for the opportunity to serve. So, and listen, we have lots of helpers on this virtual conference too. So life coaches out there, I'm sure they'll be glad to lend a helping hand. Why don't you just drop your links below? And you know, so people can get in touch with you as well. The last one I feel that is so very important is asking God for guidance. I wouldn't have been able to heal and be a place where I'm at today if it wasn't for God's guidance and his help. So that should actually have been first and not last, right?
But sometimes our realization comes to that, right? We get that understanding finally, like, wait a minute, wow. And it helps us change from what we talked about as that little kid of like, if he really loves me, these things wouldn't have happened, or maybe I'm a bad person. As time goes on and you understand from different perspectives and you get some answers, I think sometimes that realization that God really was guiding you, right? Because our hindsight is almost always 2020. We usually can see and go, wow, this is where the path has guided me to be. And now your relationship with him, because of going through those trials, it's firm. You trust, you believe, you move forward with him. And now look what you're doing. Can you imagine yourself? And if anyone read the blog today, you could see the three books, right? The 3 book phases that she went through of like just revenge, and then poor me, I'm the victim, to now like, y'all, we're coming through it. And just such a powerful thing. You're right, Nicole. We need to ask for God's guidance, and that idea of someone higher than yourself who loves you. However you think of it, I think of it as a Heavenly Father. Lorrie thinks of it very similar as God. And other people think of it, you know, maybe as a different power. And that's fine. The idea is, if you can see something beyond yourself, you're going to live beyond yourself. You are going to actually reach help. And the focus won't be right here anymore. Be like, oh, wait a minute. Oh, I didn't see. And these people need... Okay, and you just have this idea to want to reach out. But it takes time, right, Lorrie? You were not in the place at first to like start your healing journey at age 18, right?
Absolutely not.
It takes
Taken
time.
a long time.
Yeah, because in the hand, right? You said acknowledge, you said assessment, and you know, this ask for help. So we've got 2 more. What's going to be happening here with these 2 other A's?
Okay, so yeah, the 4th one is address. And, you know, it's like you're going to have to feel to deal in order to heal. You know, my daughter actually, shared that one with me, and it's right on. I didn't come up with it. She knows who came up with the saying. But, for me, the bottom line was I could not see past my own pain until I released it. And so, it's kind of gross. I'm going to explain this analogy a little bit. It's like having an abscess, right? And it's been festering for years. And, and the poison's in there, and it's affecting your whole body. It's affecting your choices, your health, all this stuff. So the bottom line is you got to cut it. You have to cut it to release all of the poison out, and it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt really bad. But the beauty of that is once all that stuff is out of your body, you give your body a chance to heal. And that's just like I know it's kind of a gross analogy, but it's a good one, I think,
Oh, come on, Dr. Pimple Popper. It's awesome. Yeah. Give us these squeezes out there.
Like a doctor. But, oh my gosh, it's a good analogy. Hey, right?
It is. We've all had one of those juicy ones, and we're like, yeah. Once you get it out, you're like,
you gotta get the poison out, right? And another thing, you have to give yourself permission to feel unapologetically and without judgment on yourself, right? Because feelings are just a part of our reality. It's important to feel the pain and not try to run from it or mask it, because that's where all this other stuff comes in, all these bad choices, and try to dispute the lies of the feelings like you don't matter, because the truth is you do matter. The feelings matter, and you matter. And I think that what was Cecilia touched on this about showing yourself compassion and self-love. So that was addressed, I believe it was last night. It's like we have to have, and actually Kathy's addressed this as well the first night, and showing ourselves self-love and compassion. And realizing, also realizing that you're doing for yourself and not for the other person. Okay. Because for me, when I went to forgive, I had to come to terms that, I'm never going to hear I'm sorry. And I had to be okay with that. So, because I was doing it for myself and not having any expectations on the other end. Otherwise, it's just going to bring up a lot of anger and bitterness and all that stuff all over again. So you have to be in a place where you do it for yourself without any expectations of the other person.
Yeah.
And trying to put yourself in another person's shoes. So right. I'm just going to use my parents as an example. I grew up hating my parents. And once I let that pain out, I begin to get into a place where I can start looking at my mom's circumstances and what she was going through. She was a single parent, financial stress, 5 kids, on welfare, no child support, and those kind of heavy burdens that were on her. Also, the culture norms back then. I mean, the 60s, kids were to be seen and not heard. Do as I say, not as I do. Women and children didn't have a voice, period, right? Her upbringing was terrible, too. So, people can't give away what they don't have. She had a lot of barriers. She had mental health problems. And there just wasn't the medication and things that we have today. I mean, back then, I think they gave them shock treatment or, labeled someone with neurotic or schizophrenia, but they didn't have the kind of tools that we have today. And okay, Kathy's saying empathy is the key in the gift when walking through forgiveness. Absolutely. I mean, you even touched on that, Kathy. It's just that, yes, absolutely. That's it. And also the generational patterns. When I looked at my mom's life, I mean, this stuff has been passed down for generations, great grandma to grandma, on, and just kind of looking at the impact. And that's why it's so important that we acknowledge this, folks, and not pass this on and begin to break the cycle. Unfortunately, I did pass on a lot of dysfunction with my oldest one, and I did differently with the younger two. But Yeah, we have to do a better job in trying to break the cycles if we come from that line of dysfunction. So going through this, I thought that I had forgiven my mom before she passed away. And then after she passed away, I realized that I didn't fully forgive like I wanted to. And I had a lot of regrets. I wish I would have told my mother, to give her permission to forgive herself, and those kind of things. So there was some regret I had when she passed away. So yeah, so that's about, addressing some of these issues.
True.
Shelly, oh, mama is hugging you from heaven. Oh, look at that. Yeah, I believe she is hugging me from heaven.
Yeah. So, that concept about forgiveness, sometimes we do run out of time, right? We just do, because we don't know when people are going to be here,
right,
and when their last day is. Only God knows that. So, every day just try your best at what you can do. It's not about perfection, and it's not about control. It's just about taking one more step than you did the day before.
Absolutely.
And if you have to sit and rest, it's okay. Stay in that spot and rest. Don't go backwards. Stay there. Stand up again. Remember, people are with you to keep going. I love this sign. This means motivation. This means we're with you. And, we can encourage each other through. And I feel that encouragement from you, Lorrie. And you have a story. You have a story that just surprised me. And it has to do with, helping out other people, giving away your book, helping me give my book. And it also has to do with your dad. Do you want to share that story? Should I put the picture up?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
I still have. Okay, so there's the last step here.
Let's get the last step in.
The last step is high five, and the last step is action. We have to put this stuff into action. All right. In April, when I was a substance abuse counselor, I used to use this as a tool, and it's called Purging the Poison. And I have the jar, and what you do is you write down any of the negative feelings that you have, whether it be doubt, guilt, anger, and you drop it and you release it into the jar. So this is one of the tools. And you know what? You don't have to be a counselor to do. You can actually use this in your home with the kids. If there's any negative emotions, they can learn how to let it go. It's just a tool that I used to use in a program.
Love it.
Yeah. Also, it's coming to terms that anger is it's a part of the healing process as well. And underneath anger is the hurt. So you're going to get angry. And it's okay to be angry, but to release it in healthy ways. Like my daughter, she has a kickboxing bag in her living room, My friend at work has got the punching bag in her garage. For me, when I get upset or something, I'll go cycling, And another tool is to write a letter, writing a letter to your abuser, and either send it, or you could burn it or you can bury it. It's important not to bury your feelings, but you can write them down and then bury it, right? Another one is a gratitude list. It's hard to be negative and grateful at the same time. Again, Kathy touched on this the first night, and it's just so true. There's my boy. Thank you, Thane. You are too. Also, my son and I, we do this one, daily affirmations. We put positive statements on the mirror, and then we call each other out on it. Like I call him, I say, okay, what's your affirmation? He'll tell me his, I'll tell him mine. And, they say if you do something for what is it, 21 days straight, it becomes a healthy habit. So these are the kind of tools that you can use. Also, another thing is I've been getting into drinking celery juice, cucumber water, My daughter turned us on to celery juice, and there's so many benefits to this. And Nicole, if you want to drop the link to the all the benefits, so if people are interested in learning about, the benefits of celery juice, they'll be able to look that up. And the number one action step that you can take is give yourself permission to forgive you. Because honestly, we only have done the best we can for what we had been given as well. And to, have a reminder that this is going to be an ongoing process, April. This is not one and done. As offenses come up, we have to tackle it right away and not to keep on letting it fester and get big and then be right back in the same boat, right? And I'm just going to share with you that I'm going to show you proof that this stuff works. Okay. So April, go ahead and put that photo up.
All right. We're putting that photo up. Vanna is on it. I hope, if I do it right this time. Okay. I'm on it, clicking things through, getting on the tabs, and let's see if we can get this shared up here. All right. Do you see it?
Okay, y'all. This is me and my pops. Back last year, this photo was taken October 6th. We were standing together, giving back to, this is like a stand against domestic violence and child abuse. And we stood together, giving back, donating our books. My father donated a pretty hefty donation to the organization. And this was just a really good, it was just really just a good healing, in that we were able to do something positive in the community together. And so a month and a half later, you guys, he passed away, and so he passed away on November 19th last year. So it was a month and a half after this picture was taken. And I tell you, I'm so grateful that I put all of this stuff into practice, and that I was able to love my father unconditionally and truly forgave him in the bottom of my heart. And when he passed away, I had absolutely no regrets, none. And unlike with my mother, I know my pops is up there. He's smiling on me too. So I got both parents up there smiling down. And so this right here is proof that this stuff really works, because I couldn't stand my father for years. So I think that's pretty deep, April, huh?
It is. It is amazing. I mean, that the whole concept, because we just never know. And think about that. The cleaning, the power of that. What a great opportunity to really, really forgive, to reach beyond, to not harbor anymore. And how did that feel when you could stand with no regrets? How did that feel?
It's just such a relief, because I know the difference. I know what it was like losing my mom and still having, I had some regrets there. But it's just completely on another spectrum of a night and day of what it was like when my father passed. And, I was able just to really be there 100%, like for his wife, and just really try to give back, and had no regrets, and just wanting to be the best helper I could possibly be when he passed away. And I was actually there. I got the call and I was there. And before he took his body away, I was actually there with my dad's wife when he passed. And just to be able to be a part of that process with her, was huge. April, was absolutely huge. Mm-hmm.
Wow. I hope you guys can think about this for a minute. It is a big deal. We are only given one opportunity, one chance, one life, one shot at things. And this conference, I hope, motivates you to maybe take a look at, to maybe readdress, to stand firm. And this whole concept about all of this with the light, right? If we are shining out there and being a beacon of light, we're on a strong foundation, okay? And the concept that Lori's talking about, the pain, the hurt, the abuse, the torture, the whole thing, horrendous, awful. Anyone who reads the book, your heart just breaks. And once you have that perspective, and now you hear her perspective of growth, of healing, and can stand with her dad and know that it's okay because someone else has taken over and taken care of it.
Mhm.
If we just use that gift in our life and change it and understand the outline of love and what that does, true love offers forgiveness for everyone. Now, I want to say it with caution. I'm not saying the act happens and then, all right, all forgiven. It
Oh,
takes
yeah, absolutely not.
time.
Yeah.
It
it's
takes
fine.
healing, and that's okay. We just want to encourage you to start this journey, to keep it healing, to keep going, and you will have the moment. Those of us who's been on the journey, you have the awakening, and you know. The journey continues forward because we'll all make mistakes, and we need to always, keep things rolling forward in forgiveness and repentance. But you'll have this clarity that it's truly healed. And you can continue to just keep improving every day. It's just so powerful. The comments that are popping up here are fantastic. Thank you so much, Nicole. Sandra.
Sandra made it.
I know. She's awesome. I mean, look at that. You do.
Hello.
Kathy, this is beautiful. Yes, I wanted to pick up little Lorrie and let her know she is worthy, loved, and it is not her fault. And it's so
And you
true.
too, Kathy, right? We both.
Yeah, you've gone through it. And so that idea, that concept, please join. Please find some help. Please reach out. Lorrie, April, Kathy, Sandra,
Yes.
so many that are here tonight. And know that we understand the pain that will happen. We're not going to sugarcoat that. But look, living proof, we can get through it. You can do it. You can. Millions can. Millions can. You're not alone in this.
It is so
Please
possible.
heal. Yes, it is.
I mean, if I could sit up here and talk about this stuff and have a grateful heart and a loving heart, I mean, anything is possible. Healing is possible.
Exactly.
I mean, anybody has read my book, they'll understand the contrast of what I went through and how I can be where I'm at today. It's just pretty amazing.
It is. It is. We all have that idea and that chance. So thank you so much, Thane. And for so many people that are here tonight, it's just been a beautiful, beautiful evening. So before we start to close things down, Lorrie, what's our next thing that we want to be talking about, showing off? What's happening in your life? What's going on?
Okay. I wanted to actually end this with a visual.
Okay, got it.
So I am going to show, hold on, it's a surprise.
Ooh. We love surprises.
Okay.
You did it.
Yeah, look at this. It's like, forgive others, not because they deserve forgiveness, but because you deserve freedom. Now, listen, I used to do the 5-finger discount when I was younger, a lot. But now, check it out. Now I could use these 5 fingers to hold up the light, and so anyways, how is that for a blessing? I mean, we all have it within us to hold the candle of light. It doesn't have to be the pond like mine, but we all have it in us to hold the light. We just, we're one choice away. So that's how I want to end it.
Beautiful.
So, one more thing. Let's ace it to freedom, y'all. Let's ace it to freedom. You have
ace it to freedom.
Yes.
Awesome. Yes, you do. You deserve the freedom. Exactly, Nicole. It is such an important part. Lorrie's book is a must read.
Oh, Sandra,
Agreed. Gosh, there's been so many amazing people this evening. We're getting ready to give away this book here, Broken to Beautifully Whole. And when I said be active, I'm like, oh yeah, now I got to pick. There's been so many people who've been active. So who wants this book, Broken to Beautifully Whole by Kathy Studer. I mean, let's
Great
get this going here. Oh, Lorrie, you're awesome. And okay, Lorrie Thompson, I have to tell you, you missed the first part, but I'm giving you 2 of these books because you were telling me about the new shelter opportunities. Okay, so I'm sending these to you in May 1st. All right, these are coming to you. So when they come, you'll know what that's about because you shared with me and yeah, everything like that. Great. All right, back to this. Broken to Beautifully Whole. Who wants this? Who wants this? Who wants this? Who wants this? Okay, let's see. Is it going to be who should we pick, Lorrie? Who should we pick? Check them out. You can
one.
Just pick one. Should I just randomly just let it stop?
Yes. Random.
Okay.
Stop.
It stops on. Well, it stopped on Thane.
All right. Thane.
Okay, Thane. You got it. Broken to Beautifully Whole.
Yeah. There you go.
There you go. All right. So I'll be contacting you through your mama there. I got to get your address and mail it off to you. Okay, congratulations, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Lorrie.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in and listening. And, you know, I hope it was helpful. In April, thank you. I just love you to pieces. You are the epitome of what light looks like in this world. You know, and just to be a part of this, just amazing authors and entrepreneurs and, you know, world changers is just such a gift. So I thank everyone for being a part of this tonight.
Yes, thank you, Lorrie. This is a beautiful way to be able to end it. And thank you, everybody, so much. Thank you to all of our sponsors. Thank you for everybody coming through the evenings. We do have one more on Monday, the 26th. That'll be our final closeout. And so we're excited to hopefully see you guys there. Thank you again for being supportive. Remember, healing is a choice away. We love you guys.
Love you.
Bye, everybody.